In 512 BC, a Chinese general won the most important battle of his career without drawing a single sword. Not one drop of blood was shed. His enemies surrendered before the first arrow was fired. Most people think this was luck or some ancient trick that doesn't apply today. They're dead wrong. What Sun Tzu understood about the psychology of victory, about winning before the battle even begins, is more relevant now than it was 2,500 years ago. But first, let me tell you why this matters more today than ever, and how it all comes down to one word that most people completely misunderstand. Picture this. You're facing an enemy that outnumbers you 3-1. Your resources are limited. Your men are tired. According to every military manual ever written, you should be preparing for a long, bloody campaign. But Sun Tzu saw something different. While other generals were sharpening their swords, he was sharpening his mind. The art of war wasn't written by some armchair philosopher. This came from a man who understood that the greatest victories happen in the mind long. Modern Stoicism has rediscovered these principles, but we've lost something crucial that Sun Tzu understood perfectly. And if you're finding this as mind-blowing as I did when I first connected these dots, you're going to want to stick around because we're just getting started. Here's Sun Tzu's most famous insight, and I guarantee you've been thinking about it all wrong. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. Most people read this and think it's about gathering intelligence on your opponents. They're missing the point entirely. The enemy Sun Tzu is really talking about the one that defeats most people before they even start is internal. It's your lack of self-control, your undisciplined habits, your inability to see reality clearly because you're too caught up in what you wish were true. Think about the last time you failed at something important. Really failed. Was it because you didn't have enough information about external circumstances? Or was it because you didn't honestly assess your own capabilities, your own discipline, your own commitment level? In our modern world, we're drowning in information about everything except the one thing that matters most. Sun Tzu understood that self-knowledge isn't comfortable. It requires facing truths about yourself that you'd rather avoid. But this is where true discipline begins, not with forcing yourself through willpower, but with creating such a clear, honest assessment of your strengths and weaknesses that your path forward becomes obvious. This connects directly to ancient wisdom traditions across cultures. The Stoics called it the discipline of desire, aligning your wants with reality instead of constantly fighting against what is. But there's something even more shocking that Sun Tzu reveals about how victory actually works. Here's where Sun Tzu gets really interesting. The supreme excellence is to subdue the enemy without fighting. This isn't about avoiding conflict. It's about being so prepared, so disciplined in your approach, that when the moment comes, the outcome is never in doubt. Let me give you a modern example. You know those people who seem to effortlessly maintain great habits, who show up consistently, deliver excellent work, stay calm under pressure? From the outside, it looks like natural talent or luck. But if you look closer, you'll discover something different. They've built systems. They've developed such strong self-discipline through philosophy and practice that good choices have become automatic. They're winning before the battle. Sun Tzu calls this winning without fighting because when you've done the internal work, when you truly know yourself and have built real self-control, external challenges become much simpler to handle. You're not fighting yourself anymore, so you can focus all your energy on the actual problem in front of you. The transformation happens when you realize that discipline isn't punishment, it's freedom. It's the difference between being reactive, constantly responding to circumstances and emotions, and being responsive, making conscious choices based on your deeper values and long-term vision. This is where it gets really interesting, because Sun Tzu reveals something about timing that changes everything. He who is prudent and lies in wait for an enemy who is not will be victorious. And here's the deeper cut. The clever combatant looks to the effect of combined energy and does not require too much from individuals. This is Sun Tzu's most profound insight about discipline and self-improvement. Most people exhaust themselves fighting the wrong battles at the wrong times with the wrong energy. They try to change everything at once. They rely on motivation and willpower, individual effort, instead of building systems that work with human nature rather than against it. This is the psychology of victory. You win before the battle because you've structured your life in a way that makes progress inevitable. You've eliminated the friction between your current self and your future self. Philosophy becomes practical when it changes how you actually live, day by day, decision by decision. The Stoics understood this too. Marcus Aurelius didn't become a great emperor through constant struggle and force. He developed disciplined thinking patterns, consistent daily practices, and a clear philosophy that guided his decisions. When challenges arose, and they constantly did, he was ready, not because he was naturally gifted, but because he had prepared his mind through years of intentional practice. If this is resonating with you, if you're starting to see how ancient wisdom can transform your modern life, then you understand what I'm really talking about here. Here's your challenge, and it comes directly from Sun Tzu's playbook. For the next week, I want you to practice winning before the battle in one specific area of your life. Choose something you've been struggling with. Maybe it's consistent exercise, better sleep, focused work, or breaking a habit that's holding you back. But instead of third, set up conditions where success becomes inevitable. Prepare your environment. Remove friction from good choices and add friction to bad ones. Build what modern Stoicism calls systems of discipline, structures that make the right choice the easy choice. This isn't about perfection. It's about progress through philosophy applied to real life. Sun Tzu's ancient wisdom combined with modern understanding of habits and self-improvement creates something powerful. You start winning before the battle because you've eliminated most of the internal conflict that stops people from following through. The goal isn't to become someone else. It's to become the most disciplined version of yourself, someone who acts consistently with their deeper values, someone who has developed real self-control through understanding rather than force. If you're ready to dive deeper into how ancient wisdom can transform your daily life, if you want more practical philosophy that actually works in the real world, then you're going to love what we explore next. Hit subscribe because we're just getting started on this journey from ancient battlefields to modern breakthroughs. Remember, the supreme excellence is to subdue the enemy without fighting.